It is Friday again, and that means my favorite way, and hopefully your favorite way, to get to know your Atlas recruiter, the often imitated, never duplicated Atlas MedStaff 5-Question Friday. With me this week, allied recruiter Sarah Campbell. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, you ready to get into this?
I don't know.
It's super painless, I promise. Question number 1. Tell me who Sarah Campbell is.
I am just a regular person. I have a crazy lifestyle that a lot of my travelers are very privy to. I have a new kid, and my husband and I ranch and rodeo and train rope horses, and we dabble in quite a few things. So I'm a little bit of everybody and a lot of no one.
We're going to get into some of those details because I think this is super interesting. But first, I want to hit question number 2. You mentioned your travelers are very important to you, and I think that's because you are a CT, MRI, X-ray tech, and you traveled as that as well. So tell me, like, when you're talking to a prospect or a traveler right now, like, what's the one piece of advice that you would give them from your days doing that?
You know, the vendor game's changed, especially in Allied, I would say, and we had a lot of direct business, and I think that's kind of changed as well. A lot of these hospitals have gone to a middle person. And I tell travelers all the time, I'm like, man, I took COVID contracts before there was COVID money. Then I came over to the recruiter side, started seeing the huge bill rates, and I was like, did I just make the worst mistake in my entire life? You know, and I do a lot of the education with my travelers of like, this is why rates might be different between different agencies. Doing a lot of the education on VMS percentages and different non-billables and why it's not a level playing field anymore, and making sure that they know that I don't agree with it. I want them to know, like, hey, I'm at the mercy of them. If I could give you $1 million a week, I want to. The company makes more money, the recruiter makes more money, the traveler makes more money. Trying to find your people, trying to find the place that you're comfortable with, and knowing who's going to have your back is going to be monumental. You know, I think this is a great company. I think I'm a great recruiter. I'm obviously biased, but I know that when I go to sleep at night, I have done every single thing in my day that I can fight for that traveler, and I can fight for what's right, and they know that I'll go to bat for them. And I think that speaks volumes. I really just try to humanize it. I'm not an order taker, not a salesperson. I am you, and knowing that you have someone that's you on this side of it that knows the industry, I'm never going to push you into a contract that I'm just like, just sign the deal. That's not important to me. What's important to me is that you're going to have a position that you can support for your family, that you're going to be comfortable in, that you might fall in love with. My ultimate goal is to find somebody their dream full-time job. Every single placement.
And it's no wonder that you're successful here with us at Atlas, because that's what everything we are built on. That we are not a transactional agency. We never have been. And I think at the core of that, you understand the honesty and transparency that we preach every single day here, and that's important to you. Question number 3. This is going to be a fun one. You talked about it a little bit. Your bio says you're into rodeo. Okay, tell me, 2-part question. Where did that come from? Like, how did it come about? And what do you still do now?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I grew up ranching. My husband grew up ranching as well. His family has a place over here in Western Colorado where we live. My whole family is from like South Dakota, like out on the kind of by interior wall, like all that area, Pine Ridge. I've been rodeoing since I was like 5 years old. I had a full ride scholarship in college, and I was the only girl at our college here where I went to X-ray school to make it to the college finals in 2 events. And it's a lifestyle, it's a way of life. Rodeo is very, very important to us. My horses are treated like Olympic athletes. I have 3 pairs of jeans that don't have holes in them. My husband trains rope horses. I've trained rope horses. It's something we really, really work at a lot. My daughter loves to ride. She is 14 months old and just can't get enough of it, which is great.
You started her early.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Question number 4. Who or what inspires you?
Well, I'm definitely a person of faith. I'm inspired by all sorts of things. Health and nutrition people who love life. I live vicariously through my travelers because I didn't get to have that kind of a travel experience because I was married, and as you can imagine, with 15 head of horses, it's really hard to just up and move every 3 months. So I didn't have that kind of a travel experience, and I live vicariously through my travelers and love to hear about their experiences. I am motivated by people who are hard workers. Try to live by that every day, is like, no one will outwork me. I'm really prideful about that.
That's not prideful. That's just being
Yeah.
like honest with yourself, right? I mean, that's just I feel the exact same way. So there's nothing prideful about that.
That's our lifestyle. I was raised that way. Is like, if you can always do more, you can always work harder, you can always put in more time. That's why I don't care about getting on after hours, or I talk to my travelers on the weekends, because it's truly a relationship. Or if it's something I'm like, hey, I'm at a jackpot, or I'm on a horse, or whatever. I mean, I talk to people all the time. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just loping around horse. I'm like, I'm bringing up some calves. Like, don't mind me. I'm here, I'm listening. Or I'm like, hey, when I get back to the computer, I'll, get that to you. But
I almost wonder if maybe your travelers live vicariously through you sometimes.
oh yeah, they're like, oh my God, are you like Yellowstone? I was like, except in it never snows, which is complete trash because it's in Montana.
Question number 5. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
My traveling has been very limited because it's where we pull a trailer. I used to live in Canada, and I absolutely loved that. Like way up in the bush, and loved Canada. South Dakota is my favorite state that I've been to. Yeah, if I could go anywhere in the world, I've always wanted to visit Scotland.
And that, honestly, that seems like that you probably would feel very at home there. I have a feeling that would be.
I want to be wherever my family is, and that's probably where I would choose to be.
That's probably one of the most unique answers I've had to that question over the years. So that's awesome. Thank you. All right.
We're nomads. I mean, we live in South Dakota in the summertime. We're in Arizona in the wintertime. I don't care where I am. I just want my husband and my daughter with me.
And maybe a horse or two.
That'd be handy.
There you go. All right. This is the part where I say, if Sarah sounds like the type of recruiter for you, we're going to put all of her contact information right down here below. If you want to live vicariously through her and rodeo, and know that she did your job for a while and would still go back to that today if she had that opportunity, that's the recruiter for you. Give her a call, shoot her a text or an email. It's right down here below. Sarah, thank you so much. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you next time.